in this video with you is, are you utilizing your best weapon? Are you really using it to the fullest? And it's not what you think. It's not your cardio or your strength or your mental toughness, but are you using rest as a weapon? So everything comes from rest. You could gut your way through your workouts. You can do all the BCAAs and drink your espresso or whatever else you like to do to get pepped up before classes. I know some of you love your monsters, but are you really utilizing the true fuel which helps you to train hard, to progress, and to stay healthy? So, do you know what that is? It's your rest. And this concept was instilled in me quite young when I read those books, the Bourne series, from which they made the popular movies, right? The Bourne Supremacy and the Bourne Ultimatum and those ones. So one thing that really struck my attention was like, you have this badass secret agent dude, this operative, this asset, and he could, clear rooms full of dangerous dudes. He could lead police on a chase in a car and get away. He could hack into any system and do all this crazy shit. And one of the main things was that in the books, I don't know if they showed this in the movie, but this phrase came up where whenever he would have some moments, he would lay down and go into something like a shavasana from yoga, but just a really deep rest. And this phrase was like littered throughout the book. Rest is a weapon. And so I really took that to heart. And it's not just words, right? It's not just saying like, okay, every now and then you need to chill out a bit. It's like, no, coming from a place where you clear out and you completely tone down the activity and you recharge, this is one of the most effective weapons, if not the greatest, which fuels everything else. Because you can imagine it like your car, right? Your car will run, from the same level of perception. It's going to run the same whether it's topped up on full or whether it's running on fumes. Like, you're going to start that car and it's going to go down the street. But which would you rather have? Would you rather be running off of a car and prepared for a full voyage when it's just past full, or when it's just under empty? And a lot of people, maybe that's you too, start putting that key in and you're seeing the fuel light, but you're like, I think I can make it to work. I think I can make it to the gas station. I think I can just make it through the day without filling up. But this philosophy is about getting more tuned into the sense of being topped up. And then from there, our capacity really increases. So I'll take myself as an example. So I can truly notice the difference, let's say on a day where I have 4 or 5 hours of rest, of sleep. It happens on occasion. Maybe you have something going on at night, maybe work ran late, or you had a late meal which pushed things. And then, all right, you do your best to sleep 4 or 5 hours. And then I get up and I'm kind of looking through these little pockets of the day in which to rest, or I'm kind of outputting at less than my capacity. I'm not having the same space in conversations. I'm not training in the same way. I'm not pushing it. Those aren't going to be the days that I'm hitting my PR. And if I do everything to the max, I'm liable to maybe have an immune system sort of disruption and maybe be on the verge of getting sick, or I'm just always looking for ways to kind of hold back and save energy. And yeah, I can gut through it, but it's not really that pleasant. And if I'm learning something that day, whether it's something I'm reading or techniques that I'm taking in from a class, I'm not really absorbing them. I'm not really actively asking the questions. I'm just not fully there. And now I take that to contrast with how I feel when I'm sleeping 7.5, 8, or even some days 9 hours if it's one of those days where I get to sleep super early and I just make it my mission that night to just have a fully recharged, topped up battery. The next day goes completely different. I'm able to have the energy for all of the conversations, be able to listen better. I'm able to teach better, to do all the workouts I want to do. And I'm not like trying to look for these little points in the day. I'm like, oh, do I have a few minutes? Okay, let me just like close my eyes and hope nobody bothers me. On those days, I have the ability to sustain through the day, and I'm not thinking about sleep until I get to bed, and then I'm having a good sleep. So rest is absolutely a weapon. There's nothing wrong with also needing those moments in the day to recharge or to separate between chapters in your day. But make sure that you honor and use this weapon, because this is one of the greatest tools that you can have to sustain and grow your practices, right? So getting away from that conditioning of like, can I make it through? And, you know, this brings up the question as well, which I'll go into a later video, about what's the best fuel that you can use for your body to progress and to continue your practice over the long term. So same kind of thing. It's like, what fuel do you want to be going off of? Do you want to just be going off of your mental toughness? Do you just want to be going through the motions because you have to? Or do you really want to bring all of you into your training, into your professional life, into your family life, and come from a full cup? So it's not weak to do that. In fact, the strongest warriors have the deepest rest. All right, so just remember, rest is a weapon, and you can choose to use it to its maximum potential, to reach your maximum potential if you choose.